Hello everyone, my name is Fayaz Khan Sahil and I'm a microbiologist, and today we're going to learn about the part 2 of cells. So let's start with bacterial cell. As you can see, these are the bacterial cell. What are the definition of bacterial cell? Bacterial cell are unicellular, means they are not found in multicellular form, like they always exist in unicellular form, and the cell do not contain any nucleus. As you can see, in both plant and animal cell both have nucleus, right? They both have nucleus, right? But however, bacterial cell doesn't contain any nucleus. Such cell are called prokaryotic cell. What does prokaryotic actually means? Pro mean before and karyotic mean nucleus, before nucleus. So these are the ancient cells that comes. Okay, there are two type of cells, by the way, prokaryote and eukaryote. Prokaryote cell are the ancient cells, okay, like bacterial cell that doesn't have any nucleus. From my biological perspective, the prokaryotic cell came first and then eukaryotic cell formed. But there are several theories, we can have a debate on that thing. But for this lesson, we'll not go through that thing. So let's look at the structure of bacteria. I hope you guys enjoying the courses and other stuff. Let's look at the bacterial cell. This is a bacterial cell. It's beautiful. I know you guys don't think it's beautiful, but it's beautiful. Look at this DNA. Are you seeing any structure covering the genetic material? Because in bacteria there is no nucleus. So this chromosome, this circular chromosome, is actually free flowing. Okay, but it usually stayed in one place, mostly in one place. So they contain the genetic material. This genetic material is DNA, right? DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Now we look at cell wall, the common structure in bacteria. However, unlike plant cell, which is made up of cellulose, this bacterial cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. This bacterial cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Okay, this is a chemical. You don't have to remember the information right now, but you will eventually get that set in your mind. Now we have another piece of DNA, which is plasmid DNA. We'll learn in details about this DNAs in the upcoming slides. Now let's look at flagellum. What is the function of flagellum? So the flagellum actually helps the bacterial cell to move in different direction. So this bacteria is motile. However, flagellum is not found in all bacterial cell, by the way. Some bacteria have flagellum, other do not have any flagellum. So as you can see, depends upon the bacterial cell. Now we have cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a substance or jelly-like substance where all the chemical reaction in the bacterial cell take place. Okay. Now let's look at what bacterial cells do not have. They do not have a nucleus. As you can see, there is no nucleus. It's a free-flowing chromosome. They do not have mitochondria. The bacterial cell itself is very small. Okay, and mitochondria itself was an ancient bacteria. Now they're living in a symbiotic relationship inside our cell. They do not have chloroplast also. They do not have nucleus, mitochondria and chloroplast. However, they have circular DNA. Let's look at the beautiful structure of circular DNA. As you can see, these are made up of bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. So as you can see, this beautiful circular DNA. However, bacteria have another circular form of DNA, which is known as plasmid. Plasmid, a small circular molecule of DNA found in many prokaryotic cells in addition to the main. much larger circle of DNA. So, what does this mean? What is the function of this plasmid? This plasmid is actually transferable. So, this plasmid can transfer from one bacteria, they can move to another bacteria. They contain they can contain gene for several things. They can contain gene for antibiotic resistance. So, what happens in antibiotic resistance, by the way? So, in basic term, what antibiotic resistance mean? Suppose you have a antibiotic name A, okay, that used to kill a bacteria named B, okay, or Bacillus. If you can name it the bacteria Bacillus. However, when this plasmid got transferred to this Bacillus, it now contain if the plasmid contain the antibiotic resistant gene for this antibiotic, so this Bacillus cannot be killed by the same antibiotic. I hope you guys are understanding it. Let me make it a little bit more clear. So what happening is that, for example, this bacteria, which is B, used to be killed by an antibiotic known as A. Okay, it used to get killed. But however, there are another bacteria which have a resistance to these antibiotics. So this transfer this plasmid to this bacteria. Now this bacteria B cannot be killed by these antibiotics because it is now resistant to it. So your question might be, sir, how they are getting resistance to this thing, right? The simple answer is that it can have a different ways. For example, one of the ways could be these genes can produce an enzyme which can break down the antibiotic A, so it is not effective at all. I hope you guys understand all of it. If you guys don't, please write that in the comment section. I will make another video to make you guys more understand. And I'm really new to these things, so I'm really little bit of nervous about everything. So stay with me. Now we'll look at specialized cells. Okay. Specialized cell. What is specialized cell? Okay, specialized cell. In multicellular organism, most of the cells that you have seen are specialized. For example, this could be cells of muscle cells. Okay, these all could be cells of muscle cell. These cells are specialized to carry out a particular function efficiently. Then the next question should be, why cell becomes specialized? Specialization allows cell to perform their function more effectively, improving the survival of that organism. For example, this is a muscle cell. It is specialized for contraction, relaxation, and they have high amount of mitochondria, right? To produce this energy for contraction. However, if another type of cell that is non-specialized cannot carry out this function efficiently, as the cell lack enough amount of mitochondria. Okay, now let's look at another definition, which is a definition of tissue. Tissue is a group or layer of cells that work together to perform a specific function. So these layer of cell are all same type. So these same type of cells are known as tissue. Okay. Now let's look at an example, which is animal tissue. Let's look at stomach lining. The stomach cell have specialized tissue. Okay. The tissue is made up of specialized cell that produce digestive enzyme that digest the protein and also secrete enzyme into the stomata to digest the food, right? So these cells are specialized to produce enzyme and secretion of those enzymes. These cells contain many mitochondria, of course, for energy, secretory structure, as well as nucleus to control the activity, right? Uh, for today class we are up to this. I will see you guys in the next class, and please do subscribe to my channel. I'm really new to the thing, but I'm here to support you guys through your O levels to A levels journey. Bye bye, see you guys in the next class. Tata.